Good evening. Professor Shadow here, and a very warm welcome. Hopefully I'm live. Yes, I am. I can see myself and hear myself. So a very warm welcome to you this evening for our Sunday night in the shadows with me, the Professor. So we've had a lot going on this week, and I blasted out, literally blasted, all three episodes for the backstory of Origins of the Alpha. I do hope you've had a chance to watch them. I only released the last one today, so obviously I won't talk too much about it. I'll explain, we'll go over some of the things as to reasoning as what happens, and hopefully that can help you enjoy the series a little bit more. And while I was creating the story, so many things happen when you're creating a story, when you go into your own world where you want to create characters and scenarios and worlds from nothing. New ideas come to you all the time, and a couple of really exciting new ideas that I want to play with that came to me while creating Origins of the Alpha series. So I'm really happy that I managed to do these, and I'm able to now put on the planning board that I have some new characters to play with, and I really want to create, bring them into the world, into this universe, the Shadowverse, so they're going to interact with the other characters and have their place. And one character in particular, when I was creating the Origins of the Alpha series, it had absolutely nothing to do with the story, but this character came to me because it kept popping up as like a sideline, and I'm really intrigued now to create this character. So I'm not going to drop it, but I just want to let you know. Harmony, good evening to you. And we have Crystal on. Good evening, Crystal. Warm welcome to you. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if we're live and everything is working, because sometimes it just doesn't work, but I'm hoping that it is working tonight. So give me a heads up. Say hello if you can hear me okay. Good evening, Professor. Tubby is on. Hello, Tubby. Yeah, good, nice. Thank you so much. And as I was just mentioning, when you create worlds, universes for characters, well, we just did the Origins of the Alpha, so much opened up. I was literally making side note after side note when I was creating the story. So many interesting things that are going to come up through these tales. And one other thing I keep getting questioned on, keep getting asked, do I write these stories myself? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do I have a program that helps me? Yes, of course I do. It helps me put the grammar in place, etc., etc. But the story is written by me. The other things, do I narrate the story? Yes, of course I do. Go to the story and come back and hear me, and hopefully we sound the same. We should do. Obviously, when I'm narrating the story, I use my professional mic and everything, so it sounds amazing. So yes, and do I edit all the videos? Yes, I do it all myself. I do everything myself. What software do I use? I use multiple softwares. So many. I'm always trying new ones out, because sometimes you can see the videos and the video is maybe morphing quite a lot. So that was an experimental one. Or sometimes it's really crisp, or sometimes I use just images, because I feel sometimes images portray the story better. So do I write the stories? Yes. Do I narrate the stories? Yes. Do I edit the images and create the images? Yes. It's done by me. I'm not sure why people seem to think that everything is AI these days. It helps, but not everything is AI. Some of us do like to still write, and some of us do still narrate. So yes, hopefully that answers the questions for everyone. So what have we got? Hopefully, let me share this real quick with you. Let me share. Oh, wrong button. It's this one. Sunday night, Professor Shadow. Go. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. We should have a screen pop up, and you can see. I mean, last week I said I have this series I want to do, the origins of the alpha, and I did the first one. I did the trailer. I did the first one. I was so excited with the first one. I really wanted to do the next one. I really wanted to follow it up because obviously I had an end goal in mind when creating the story. And then, of course, when I've done the second one, I wanted to. So literally all week, all I've done is create these stories. So 3 amazing stories in one go. Yeah, that's a great idea, Crystal, is to, have like an index of all the characters that are in the Shadowverse, if you like. I don't know what it's called. Shadowverse sounds cool. Yes, maybe that's something to do, and like a side project. Book. Yes, could probably create a little PDF or something that has them all, or we may even just do a video. Maybe just a video of the encyclopedia. But then I suppose adding to it would be a problem, especially on YouTube. So maybe a PDF book would be easier because we can always alter it, update it. That's a great idea here. An index of the characters. Nerds of Metal, hello there. Welcome to you, my friend, this evening in the shadows. It's a clipbook on your page. We'll definitely have a look at that. Clickbook. I don't know what a clickbook is. We'll have to see. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed as well the difference in the 3 trailers I did and the AI for each of them. So I used a different software for each one. So you can probably tell. So although this one with this character here, you see that? This character. There's that character just had to mirror. So these are all done in this particular software I can use. You can see they're very like a little bit cartoony. This was done in a different one. This is realism is really good. And these are good. Like realism in these ones are good. They will do a little bit more like teddy bears and sometimes. AI is definitely getting up there, definitely getting better. So to make everything more intriguing. So these are obviously the first one because the cartoony. Good way. And then the final one, I overlaid this. So look at this image. This video I think was awesome. The eyes, the color of the person, and this is actually AI as well. This city burning is AI. This is actually AI character. It's getting so good. It's getting really good. I'm looking forward to the day. Looking forward to the day when you write your story and just give it to AI and it makes it for you. That would be amazing. Josh Miller, good evening, my friend, and very warm welcome to you. This evening of Sunday Night in the Shadows. We're just going over what's been going on the channel, the reason for making it, and possibilities of what comes out in the future. That's literally just going over the different software and how it's progressing and really helping us. And I was just saying, as AI gets stronger and better, imagine the day when you create your story, put some highlights in there, maybe feed it some images, and it creates the video for you. I don't think that's too far off. maybe a year or two. We'll have our own movies made from our own imagination. This would be incredible. This would be incredible. Well, people complain about it, saying that it's going to do so much damage to writers or film industry. Or I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be incredible. If you learn with it, you can grow with it. I think it's going to be such an incredible tool to help us share our vision. And those that weren't with me this earlier on, like I say, so many new. Let me just come back. So many new ideas. The more you create, the more ideas come to you. So I think it's going to be a really intriguing time. I have two choices now for the next step. I have a new character. I'm probably going to do this one, develop it. I've got the Dr. Thorne series, which I really am looking forward to doing. But I'm struggling to make everything tie in. That's one of those ones, because it's such a big backstory. It hits everything. It's in everywhere. It's got to tie in with everything. So that's like, have you ever seen those mind maps? It goes one into another, into another. I've literally got one of those up for everything for the Dr. Thorne story. It's coming along great. But I'm probably going to divert my energy into this new character, brand new character. It's going to be so good. I hope so. Isn't always that thing they say, anticipation. You anticipate it to be amazing, and then sometimes you anticipate too much. And when you actually go and see the real thing, you're not as excited, or it doesn't stack up. So hopefully that's not going to be the case. We can really create amazing stories. So let's see. Do you use ChatGPT to generate ideas? I do use ChatGPT, but I don't use it to generate ideas. Ideas it's okay. It's okay, but for me, I prefer it's like I say, when you're writing stories, you're writing it, and it will give you ideas come to your head. I want to go in that direction. Of course, the story wouldn't take you there, so that's a brand new way to go. For me, I like to build it around characters. So I have an idea for a character, then the story of the character, and then I'll create some images, and then I'll build it around that. But sometimes I do use ChatGPT specifically to try and get some grammar in play. My grammar is absolutely terrible, but I use a couple of other programs as well. I definitely don't use it to generate. I've tried it for ideas. I use it to get ideas for the titles for the videos, because obviously that's more of a like a YouTube thing, because if I just put origins of the alpha, then that's not, although we understand what that means, but new people watching wouldn't understand what that meant. So therefore that's not gonna work very well as a title. So I'll put it in and say, I churn it to ChatGPT, hey, to help me, give me 3 ideas for great titles or something like that. So I use that for that. Tying character, have it linked with 2 characters with different reasons. They can link in the past. I have this, Crystal. I have this amazing idea. I can't say because it might not work. So I have this great idea, a completely unusual new character. I can't wait to get started on it. But I'm going to have a little break. I pumped out the entire origins of the alpha in 1 week. Believe me when I tell you, I have sat at this desk for way too long this week. So there won't be as much next week. Who knows? The problem with me is I'm a binge creator. I think I'll define that term. I don't think I've ever heard it before. A binge creator. That is, I have an idea and I'll start it. I get so excited about the idea, I want to finish it. And then if it's a 3-part, then I want to do the next one and the next one, and I want to binge create it. I don't know if I've ever heard that term before, but maybe I should copyright it. Binge creator. that's right here, because I enjoy. See, that's the difference. Is I enjoy creating. When I was doing the last story, I'm getting excited when I'm creating it because I'm living the story as I'm creating it. And I suppose that's the difference through something using something like AI or Chat GPT to create your stories. Is how can you get really excited about it? I don't think you can get really excited. Hey, give me a story about a werewolf and how he it wouldn't even work. How would you do it? Yes, I like to do that idea where the character is perceived as both hero and villain on literally everybody. For example, the Elder and Serana videos, they're both heroes and villains. And I really like that idea. And so is, the most popular ones, as I've said this many times, um, Darth Vader, for example, the biggest baddie out there, really, I suppose. He's both hero and villain. And that's why he's so popular, that's why he's so good, because he relates to us all, because we all have a good and a dark side. And we're always fighting. Centuries ago, the Chinese invented the yin yang. It's not a coincidence. We're all sometimes in the light, sometimes in the dark, like in the middle, swinging from one way to the other. There's a reason that these characters stand out when they have those both traits. We perceive them as both. But I'm going to play. So how I'm going to play with it, with the new idea, is I will create a draft story, and then I will create a trailer. Once I create a draft, then a trailer. The trailer gives me the missing pieces, and then I can go back and finish the story. So yes, I have this idea. It may not work. It may work. It may not work. But it was just an idea that came to me, and I'm just super excited to see if I can make it work. But like many things, we have to try. I think this new idea is going to be amazing, personally. But because it's something new. It's not empiric. It's not likened. Then we shall see. We shall see. But I think it is going to be amazing addition to the Shadow Realm, the Shadowverse. Shadowverse. I like that. I don't know why. It's like a big universe of the characters. And then they can all meld. So we had a melding of characters within the Crimson Dawn, which was pretty much where all this started, really. I did many stories before the Crimson Dawn, but when I hit the Crimson Dawn, I found this was so much more enjoyable for me to create, and then have these characters on a continuous storyline, and that really helped me when you can. What's the words I'm looking for? When you can connect with the characters, and then you want to see more of the characters. So, and then their stories evolve and their arc evolves, and then they connect with other people. I mean, like for example, the Elder and Serana. When I first created those characters, Elder was a reason I wanted to do season 2 of the Crimson Dawn. I had this idea, and I didn't even think of Serana until later in the parts where she's introduced. And then, as she goes through, we realize that, who is this character and what can we do? What can we do with her? Where did she come from? Why is she there? Why has she survived and no one else has? and then we go back and look, and then we introduce them more, and then we come up with a thing like the Elder and Sorana series, which, I think did all right. I think it did all right. Let's have a look. I don't think too bad. I put the 4 parts together, which are the 3 parts together, which I really like to do. And yeah, that's got a fair few people enjoyed that. So happy with that. But I don't know what it is. What it is. But as soon as I put out, they just take off. I think everybody loves werewolves for some reason. As soon as I do that, they go crazy. New character history of childhood with bad parents die. Discovered by new parents are good, but they die too. The character remembers the lessons of both, which reflects their good and their bad. Indeed. So they have the choice. They have the 2 teachings. Which one will they follow? Especially if they have some type of power or something. They could use that power for good or bad. Incidentally, the new character arc that I'm looking at, the headline "Death Takes a Holiday" would fit in so well, and it's not what you think. It's not zombies and things like that. Don't worry. It's so incredible. It's such an idea. Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited to do it. So I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be very disciplined to not start it today. I'd love to start it today because I was excited about it. Made these notes, but I'm not going to. So you should channel. It's their backstory is based well on with the main ones are going to go to the Crimson Dawn, which you can find in a playlist. So there's a playlist that have the Crimson Dawn, and there's 3 series now, 4 series, but the final part of the 4th series isn't available just yet. When it is, it'll be all packed together, and now there'll be 4 series of the Crimson Dawn, and you can find that in the playlist. So if you click the playlists, you'll find the Crimson Dawn and literally watch it. Because if you've watched the werewolf one, the recent one, all 3 of them, and you got to the end, it says the story comes from the Crimson Dawn. And if you literally watch the Crimson Dawn part 1 after the 3rd werewolf tale, which was Night of the Werewolf, if you watch that one that came out today, once you watch that, then go to the playlist, find the Crimson Dawn, find part 1 and watch, and it will literally continue from where we left off. So yes, it will continue from where we left off. What if graveyards are special portals for where death dwells, release energy? You see, when I try and read these comments, I have the emojis all over. It's hard to actually see them. Open another screen up so I can read them. I can't get it there either. I guess I can. Here we go. The death dwellers release energy for them to travel to time and locations faster. So the graveyards are the portals. They can move from one place to another. That's a nutrient that may fit nicely in with this new idea I'm playing with. Maybe. But like I say, I do have to be very disciplined. I don't crack on with it today, otherwise I will have no life. I'll have no life. It'll just be me creating, which is not bad because We are here, born to create new things. Death has its own energy. I'm going to use Death Takes a Holiday for my new character. And you're going to find out why when it comes. You should see the trailer sometime this coming week. And I'm going to use that headline because it just fits. It fits. It just fits. It's going to be good. I'm going to use that for sure. I think it's crazy. I think it's amazing how the mind works, how the creative mind, the cerebral cortex is it, prefrontal cortex, the cerebral cortex, how it creates ideas. It pulls information from your hippocampus. Is this live right now? Jones, yes, it is, and welcome to you, my friend. I am live here, speaking right now, and we are just going over a bunch of stuff. One of what's just come out this week, and then giving some teasers, if you like, what's coming shortly. And I was just explaining that all this week I have created the origins of the Alpha series, all 3 parts, and their trailers. And I've been unable to move from this space. And so I am going to have a little bit of a break. And explaining, one thing I now realize by being on this call today, I realized I am a binge creator. I'll sit here and I'll create, and I wanted to get it done because I'm so excited. I do use AI. I use AI for the images, for the music, to help me put things in order, but I write the stories myself. I create the stories because it has to come from your mind. So we're talking about the creative mind, because you're creating. If you just use AI, give me a story, your mind would never create anything. You're creating the character. Just created these 3 tales. 3 tales of the werewolf. As I'm writing, I'm excited. I want to know what's going on. I'm writing. I want to create the sort of tale that I would like to see, that I would like to hear. And then as you're creating these new ideas that pop to you, that maybe they fit in this series, but maybe they don't. And they can come off, and they're going to be new ideas, which is what I'm talking about right now. Your content is so awesome. Have you ever thought about doing an animated series? I'd love to do that, but I have no idea how to animate apart from AI. And I truly believe that AI will be doing this for us very soon. Maybe in a year or two. In a year or two, it's going to be animating my stories. I can see that. So you can almost see it now, but it's not quite there yet. But it will be there. It will be there. We can see it, and it's coming. Whereas you should be able to write a chapter, give the AI some background, give it maybe some images or details of what you want, and it will create a movie for you. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be such an amazing time when it does. Or death is really God. Death and God are one. Well, I think it could be anyway. Maybe. I really, one of my favorite. If you watch, is it Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits? I can't remember. It's I think it's one with Paul Newman in it. I think it's Paul Newman, and this old woman is in this house, and she doesn't let anyone in, and then I think it's Paul Newman. I'm sure it is. Comes in, and he's actually deaf. I mean, that concept, that idea that death is this entity, that's an incredible concept. So I really enjoy that that idea of who is this death, this supernatural, powerful being. It's Paul Newman. I'm sure it was. Could be wrong. Bear with me 1 second while I look. I want to know. Was it Robert Redford? It was Robert Redford, was it? Maybe it was Robert Redford. So yeah, I think it was Robert Redford. Use Google to bring information. Yeah. Yeah, so that's I thought that was a great idea, a great concept. You display the character. What is the character of death? I thought that was a nice one. So, what time is it here? I'm in Oregon, and it is 11:27. So we are now 7:32 here in the United Kingdom. One of my favorite versions of death is Marvel Comics with Thanos. Death. Ratings of death. But she loves Deadpool. I did read Marvel Comics when I was a child. And the main ones I read were, and so obviously, see, that's a very similar concept, isn't it? The one character in it is the multiverse. I think that's how I'd like to see the Shadowverse building. Yeah, what did I read? I used to read Captain America. I used to read the Avengers and Thor, and I think that's pretty much it. Enjoyed those. What happened to winter? Are we going to get a winter series? I hope so. I hope we're going to get a winter series. I don't have any plans for it right now because I have so many things to create. And I literally just finished the Shadow Realm, which you should get. You should get the final cut, the final part coming soon, and the entire hour-long version is all with winter. So you will get your winter fix for sure. It's coming. It's coming shortly. It is one of those videos that I've put into what we call the bank because I'm away for 3 weeks in August, and so while I'm away, the releasing them so I don't have to create and I can relax. But that will be coming for you, my friend. Look out for that one. And I really enjoyed it. Winter is one of my favorite characters to write for. I think the second one to write for would have been Elder. I really enjoyed creating Elder's story. And of course, I did leave Elder and Sorana open, so I can easily go back to them anytime. We shall see. We shall see. Darkness Awakes is the realm where death resides. Darkness Awakes. Do you plan on publishing your stories in novel form if you haven't already? I don't have a plan for it, no. I don't plan on publishing. I'm just. The thing is, I do this, number one, course, like to see my numbers go up so I can share what I enjoy with other people that enjoy what I like. Many times I've said this, I create material that I would like to see. So it's a very selfish channel. I want to see the 3-part series of the origins of the alpha, so I'll create it. But I create it in the understanding that if I like it, there's many people like me that will also like it. So I try and make it the best version that I would like to see from a very selfish point of view. So I think I'm going to stick, maybe in the future, but right now I think I just enjoy creating. He said, I love the stories. I will. I'm going to keep them coming, don't worry, because I really only, I had another channel, but I started this channel only in November last year. And I find that I've been watching horror movies, following horror movies and sci-fi and dark fantasy for many years, and my brain concocts certain things. I'm very creative, so it's been wanting, and it needs to unload this. And it's a very satisfying thing when you finally get this out and have it created in front of you. It's an amazing feeling, and like I say, I don't mind admitting how selfish I am, but my selfishness only leads to people enjoying the content because I'm very critical of myself and I don't put anything out that I wouldn't want to see personally, if that makes sense. Who is the first vampire that came since he killed his brother, Abraham, drank his blood, and they were divine beings that God created just. I have no idea who the first vampire is, really. In my world, I do. In the Shadowverse, I know exactly who the first vampire is, but I can't tell you just yet. You've probably already guessed and worked it out, but it is something I'm working on a series, which is in the drafting phase, but it's not quite finished. There's too many loose ends that I need to link up before I can actually start working on it. I'm not ready to work on it just yet, anyway. What if all people on Earth who are popular in history, entertainment, science have supernatural bloodlines? What if they have? I think if you look at the populace, at many people today, they more than likely have. They're definitely very strange. The first vampire is a female. Is the dog man the same as a werewolf? I think it is. Where we're from, I'm from England in the United Kingdom, we have the werewolf. Whereas I think from across the pond, some people explain it more as like a dog man. But personally, I'd never heard of dog man until maybe only a couple of years ago. Whereas, of course, werewolves I've heard of many times in Europe. I think it's where you're from, but I think it's very similar. I think it is the same type of. Could be wrong, but a dog man is part dog, which a dog is a wolf, so there must be traits of similarity. The first vampire, a female. Could well be. Could well be. But I'm sure you, Crystal, have guessed who the first vampire is. In the Shadowverse. In the Shadowverse, the universe where all these. You remind me of Uncle Fester. Thank you so much. Oh, what a joy to to be identified as Uncle Vesta. But I'm going to get a light bulb very soon and put it in my mouth. I might get one. You can get one of them ones you put batteries in. But maybe I'll get that for the next Sunday. I stopped. I normally wear my jacket. I'm not wearing my jacket. It's quite warm now. I normally wear. Hopefully, when I put my jacket back on, I won't remind you so much of Uncle Fester. I think female vampires would cause more problems yet survive. Sarana certainly did. From the way that I created Sarana, it was very much like she's powerful. She's very cautious. And that was the idea. She could use her power and then quickly retreat. That was the character I wanted to bring across. Is science and magic, chemistry and alchemy, is it all the same in your shadow room? It's in some instance. I mean, obviously, in Winter's mind, whenever you see Winter, he simply says it's all science. It's all science. Simply because he can think so much better than us. His brain is so far evolved than all of ours. So he sees everything as science. He can break down and identify everything as science. Whereas, of course, I mean, in reality, what is magic? Is it magic to fly? Many years ago, if we were saying, I'm going to fly from one continent to the other, that would have been seen as magic. But now we know it was just science. Or I'm going to be on a screen in one part of the world and speak to you on a different part of the world like a magical portal. That could have been seen as magic, but we know it's just science. But I think that's how Winter sees everything. Shadow people, if they come. Yeah, definitely thought about shadow people. I did do a couple on shadow people, and they never really took off. The only ones that really, which is why I'm a little bit apprehensive about introducing a new character, the ones that do really well for me are vampires and werewolves, of course. My favorite vampire was Azrael. That was totally awesome. Ah, yeah. How many? King, total badass. Yeah, yeah. That's another one, isn't it? That's another one we could explore. The most powerful, because it was the most powerful, and the first creation. The first creation, not the first vampire. The first creation. Yeah, that's what it. You are going to see a little bit more of him come in. He's on my drafting board with another character, of course. This question in my mind about these things, and I run across someone else. Are werewolves immortal, or do they age and die normally? Depending on the law. So within the law that I created, specifically the alpha is immortal because it's a primal rage. It's a primal being, and it's the primal nature of being. So therefore it is forever. So yes, in this realm, in this reality, created, yes. I know many like films and stories, lore from other places, werewolves are mortal. But in my shadow realm, shadowverse, the alpha for sure is immortal. How many AI products do you use to make an episode? I imagine you spent a decent amount in sub. Absolutely, yes. So I use a lot. There's a couple of new ones I literally just got, and for the new one you saw, I not just got them. They've just been updated. So they've moved from Gen 2 to Gen 3. It's called Runway, and I've been using that for a long time. And before it did lots of morphing. So their hands all like all over the place, and the faces went all funny. But the new ones that come out, my goodness, they're amazing. They're so good, so good. And Natalie is good evening, Natalie. Welcome aboard this shadow evening. It's great to see you here today. I think you got some magic in order to create that undead army. Yes, but he was had the on the as it went through. He had the help, didn't he? Had help from Necros. So that was definitely magic coming in. Science was what created the virus in the first place. Absolutely. I think those can die. I think it's like killed by other werewolves. Yes. I think werewolves as such, and many times in the story, especially they're not true blood werewolves. True blood werewolves. And then the alpha is. Caught that in the story. They go through that. And when the alpha roars and brings them into the pack, they can become. Yeah, that was interesting. The AI theme song for Serrano was great, especially since I am a musician. Oh, nice, thank you. I used Suno, Suno, to create that. Such amazing. AI is so amazing. It's an amazing tool. I think everything is going to be AI soon. Everything. I think it's really exciting, especially for people like me. Now we can use that. We can release our creativity because of these tools exist. Probably wouldn't have been able to do that before. The process was too long. And because I'm a binge creator, I like to create. I like to get it done. And so these tools help me get it done. And I think that's a really important factor. As they progress, people like me are only going to create more and more content. A demon character named Damien. I'm not sure about demon characters, to be honest with you. I've done demon series before, and they're probably some of the worst ones people don't want to watch. Maybe it's just that it was in my early days. But it's definitely something to think about. Damien Thorne. Oh, that's Damien Thorne. Dr. Thorne, Damien Thorne. Just made a connection there. It was Damien Thorne from The Omen, wasn't it? It's nothing to do with the character, by the way. It's no real mind connection, not a arc connection for the story. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. It's a great example, isn't it? You're trying to create the next step, a stage, the next part of your story. How much is your brain creating this information? It'll create so many variables, and some of them variables are their own stories. A vampire who is a mortician in a human world. He likes the cold blood. I think you'll enjoy the new one, Chris. This new character. Literally, Hopefully, you've watched the maybe you haven't, but if you have, if you watch the final Night of the Werewolf series, um, I'm not going to say, just in case you haven't watched it, we'll leave it till next time. Are there any angels? Are there going to be any angels and none of these got to do it? Probably not. Probably not. But never say never. I don't have plans to. Vampires are smart about coffins. That would be a good. Yeah. Vampires carve coffins for a living. People plan on guests. People plan on having guests. I'm not sure. It depends. Maybe if, of course, if it's someone I know, or if one of you wants to come on at any time, let me know, and we can do that. We can do that. But from other channels, I'm not sure. I don't really speak to anyone from other channels. Just stay in my own space, do my own thing. I think the problem with YouTube is there's so many people that are know-it-alls and want to tell you how to do it. And, I'm not saying other channels, but so many people want to see it their own way, and I just work really well being very selfish in my stories and creating material that I would like to see as well. Great voice for narration. The characters are so well done, and you get the feel of them. I truly appreciate that, my friend. Especially by their voice. I truly appreciate that. I have a really good setup for the narration. I have a really nice mic. And I have the filter goes over it, and then you put it through this really nice program, this sound program, and you put it in Premiere Pro, and the voice is so crisp, unbelievable. I see what's going on. I have to catch up this week. Congrats on getting to over 6K subs. Yes, we went to 6,000 subscribers, which is great. Thank you all for subscribing. I do appreciate it. I do truly appreciate it. What if a story starts off, one character tells it, and then switches to a different character? And then ends both characters sharing the thoughts and views of the plot. Starts off, one character tells it, and then it switches to a different. You mean two people in the story just telling different narratives of the story? Glad I found your channel. Congrats on 6K subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's getting up there. It's definitely getting up there. A friend of mine. Okay, Crystal, got it. Yes. A friend of mine runs a channel, and he started about 2 months before. I had a couple of channels, and insignificant. And a friend of mine, and he started 2 months before he started his channel, so my channel, and he was really punching up there. He said, "You should do it. You'll get so much." I said, "Well, I'm only going to do it if I can create what I want to create. I'm not going to go down the route of do this because that's what people want to see. I want to do what I want to see and what people like me want to see." That's where I went with that. And yeah, I think getting 6,000 is pretty good. have all these characters that are on the surface. Is there anything brewing in the water? Ah, alligator man, fish man. The human created ink. It was half man, half fish living in the ocean. Yes. You know, I have a film. Literally is one of my favorite films. I have many favorite films. One of my favorite films, and definitely one of my favorite three-dimensional films. Remember that 3D phase when it came out back in the 50s, and then it came again in the later, and they made 3D TVs and things like that. Well, I have a 3D TV, of course, so that I can watch all of these older movies in 3D. And I have a favorite movie which I'm so obsessed with. It's called Creature from the Black Lagoon. My goodness, this film is so amazing for me. It's like one of my favorite films ever. I have watched this film so many times, and that's what it is, like that creature in the water, because it's in black and white. If it was in color, it wouldn't be the same. It's in black and white, so you get the darkness of the creature coming out of the water, and that music. What was that? What is the music from Creature from Black Lagoon? My goodness, I can't remember. How does it go? No, I'm going to find it on YouTube. I'm going to find it because this is going to drive me crazy if I do not find this now. It's not that. I think that's the one I want to do is The Mummy. How does it go? Jaws 3D best. Jaws 3D. Black Lagoon. We want Creature from Black Lagoon music. Let's see if we get a clip. My brain is craving this. It was just those two notes, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. And one monster nobody ever does. He's very cool. Yeah, this was such an amazing. This was such an amazing film. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I have next week. I have the Creature from Black Lagoon T-shirt. I'm gonna have to wear that. I should have worn that tonight. I didn't know this was coming up. But it's just that whole thing. It's because it's filmed in black and white. If it was filmed in color, it wouldn't be the same. And it's because of the darkness, the depth of the darkness of the black and white footage that makes that dark, and then the creature comes out. My goodness, that was so good, so good. When I was a boy, maybe around about 8, 9, maybe even 10 years old, I had for one Christmas, I had the cine camera. This was way before we had videos, VHS, Betamax, etc. We had cine cameras and the Super 8mm, and you put the reel on, and it goes through. Well, I had the Creature from Black Lagoon on there. It wasn't actually Creature from Black. It was the next one, which was Revenge of the Creature. I think it had Clint Eastwood in it. It's incredible. But anyway, because of the way that nostalgia, and then you watch it back now, my goodness, it's so good. So your brain, obviously watching that when I was a child, your brain makes a connection that this is a really great experience, a good time when you feel happy. So now when you watch it back, it instantly those neurons connect, and you're like, that feeling comes back again. That's what they call nostalgia. And that's such an amazing. Yes, love that film. Thank you for bringing that up. Who brought that up? Me. Who brought that up? Someone said about the dark waters. Nonnie Jones, thank you so much for bringing that. Appreciate that. I love it when these little pieces come in play. Yeah, definitely before its time. It's amazing. What if mermaids are forms of vampires? They call to the sailor because they're hungry. They need blood. So it looks like I'm gonna have some downtime today. Creature from the Black Lagoon could be on the list to watch. I might have to go back and watch that one more time. One more time in 3D. Anyone seen it in 3D? It's so good. So good. My goodness. It's amazing. We had the new 3D movies come out. I have a few of the newer ones, but they can't hold a piece to the old versions. It Came from Outer Space, Creature from Black Lagoon. What else do I have? So, House of Wax. That was amazing. What else do we have? I'm sure there's others I can't think of. They can't hold up to these. They're incredible. The opening scene in Creature from Black Lagoon, they're digging away at this mud. And there's this claw out of the mud, like this. Like this. There you go. That's 3D. If this was 3D, it would be coming out of your screen right now. And that's the opening scene. And so you're like, whoa, this is amazing. What if tattoos are really supernatural markings or rituals? In that could be an interesting. There's a couple of Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense with what is his name? He was in the A-Team. He was in Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, this always happens to me when I get something in my head. I have to know the answer. I have to know. It's a really unusual name as well, isn't it? So, what is his name? What is his name? Starbuck. Yes. What's his real name? What is it? Oh, my brain is just churning. Let's go back. A-Team actors. Dirk Benedict. Dirk Benedict. Nice. Nosferatu is another great film. Nosferatu is amazing. They just made a remake, I believe. How good it's going to be. It looks interesting. Nosferatu is amazing. Absolutely. The whole idea, once again, the whole idea that's in black and white, and the darkness and the depth of the darkness and the shadows create the film. Like I say, when you remake it in color, remake it in color, it's just, for me, it doesn't seem the same. Maybe it's just me. White Noise can be seen on YouTube. Oh yeah, I still haven't watched that because I couldn't find it. Mr. T. Yeah, Dirk Benedict was the one. What was I talking about? Yes, Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense. Dirk Benedict, where he gets a tattoo, and then he kills the tattooist, but the tattoo is cursed. It keeps growing over his whole body. So it takes, and yeah, the tattoo is actually a tattoo of him killing the person. So good, so good. These theories, Hammer House of Horror, Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense, is totally underrated. Amazing, amazing. Tales of the Unexpected as well. There was great, great series. In all of them, you have some incredible actors. Peter Cushing is in every single one. So there's one reason to watch them. Good. Good. What are we? Oh, we've gone past the hour. Look at that. Time flies. Time flies. Gone past the hour already. So I need to wrap up. I need to see if my butt can get actually out of this chair now, because I've been stuck in it. To create this, I'm saying to myself, do not start the new trailer today. I'm totally binge crazy, and I will binge create, and then I just totally lose track of time. And then I'll get up and go, oh, my back, realize how long I've been sitting down, and I should be standing up more. I have a standing desk as well, and then I forget to make it go up and down. That's how excited I get about creating stories. I get so involved in myself because the characters and character involvement. But I also want to see the outcome. I want to create the best outcome, the outcome I would like to see. So, my friends, thank you once again for joining me this Sunday here in the shadows. Even though it's not very shadowy, we've still got some light outside. It's supposed to be summer for us here. We've had a couple of good days. Stephen Bruston Salvatore in one. Okay. Listen. Being awesome. Have a great night. Listeners night. Thanks for you. Well, thank you for watching, my friend. I do appreciate it. Have a great section's on. I don't think it was coming on today. I came at the very end. You made the last part. Thank you so much for making this an important part of your day or evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Totally appreciate it. Totally appreciate it. And to all my friends here, have an amazing weekend. At the end of the week, have a great week. Look out for the new trailer. We're going to be a bit sparse. I've got to have a bit of a break, I think. And take care, my friends. That's all I can say. And look out for new material. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for commenting, for watching, for liking and commenting on the videos. It really helps me. So I do really appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot, by the way. Right, character comes to life and haunts. Ah, here we go. What? See, this happens to me. You do this every week to me. You know how addicted I am to this stuff. What if a writer's character comes to life and haunts them to write stories about? Oh, haunts to write stories about them. Okay. Have you ever seen what movie is it now? And the guy writes the story about the strangler, and the strangler supposedly comes to life. That's good there. Nice. Good. Okay. Crystal, thank you so much for ideas. And look out, because I'm going to use one of your titles. So thank you so much for that, by the way. And I'll get the trailer out this week for sure for that new series. Maybe a three-part. I need to introduce the character. I'm really excited for it. So once again, thank you, everybody. It's been amazing. Hey, look out, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, my friends.